Hi there, it's Neil Shah here again from the Stress Management Society. I'm just here enjoying the sun, the view, the wildlife and the scenery outside our wonderful new offices. But I'm pretty sure you didn't come here to see me enjoying myself outside our offices. So let's go inside and I can introduce to you some wonderful new techniques. Hi there, it's Neil Shah here again from the Stress Management Society. I've just been taking a few minutes out of my day to enjoy the scenery, the wildlife and the sunshine of this beautiful day. A few minutes to relax and re-energize myself. But I'm pretty sure you didn't come here to watch me enjoying myself. You're here watching this video because you're concerned about stress, You're concerned about the impact stress has on your life, your ability to focus, the impact it has on your energy levels, your productivity at work, your ability to be an effective team leader or manager. Well, the first thing I'd like to say to you, it's not just you. You're not the only person that's being impacted by the stress of 21st century life. Many people, if not most people, are in some way being impacted by the stresses of modern life. It's the overwhelm, the sheer abundance of tasks and the pace of life is preventing us from operating at our best. Well, I'm here to help you to be more efficient. This video and this video series is designed to teach you to be more efficient in this always-on 24/7 culture that we find ourselves living in. I'm looking to give you solutions that will give you improvements overnight. Not something that you have to implement over years or months and requires lots of time, energy and effort. Simple, quick win techniques that give you the results that you need after investing a very small amount of time and energy. Now, to put this into perspective, it was only a couple of months ago that I was speaking at a conference. It was a conference of senior managers and directors of various different organizations from up and down the country. And I had an opportunity to speak just before a break. The conference was taking place in Manchester, after which I was rushing off to catch a train back to London for another appointment. And I finished my bit, I got off the stage, there was maybe 600 to 700 people in the audience. And as I came off stage, there was a few people that approached me, they wanted to talk about some of the points that I'd raised and asked me some questions. And it was literally a 10-minute break, so a lot of people had rushed off to get a drink or use the bathroom. So before I left, I wanted to use the bathroom very quickly before I rushed to the train station to catch my train back to London. And as I walked into the bathroom, the sight in front of me was one that literally made me step back. Because the bathroom was literally filled. And if there are any ladies watching this video, I'm pretty sure you've never been in a gents' toilets before. So just like you to imagine, there are lots of urinals. There was maybe 12 to 15 urinals lined up against the wall. And on each and every single one of these urinals, there was a gentleman spending a penny. Now, what do you think that gentleman was doing whilst he was spending a penny? Have a guess. Because each and every single one of them was pretty much engaged in the same activity. I was shocked. Every single one of them, as they were spending a penny, were either tapping out an email, sending a text message. Some of them were actually on the phone. It was unbelievable. These people were so busy and under so much pressure and had such little time, they couldn't even spend a penny in peace. How many of you found you've used your toilet? How many of you found you've used your BlackBerry in the toilet? Your iPhone being used wherever and whenever you're out and about, even lying in bed, your head on the pillow and you're still checking your messages. Now, this is something that many of us are experiencing in modern life. I'm here to tell you, you can enjoy life in the 21st century without the stress, without the overwhelm and the pressure that many of us find ourselves living under. But there are problems. The first problem is the sheer relentlessness and pace of modern life. We're always on. We've got technology that's getting us to work harder and faster, and it's dictating the pace of our lives. And it's just one thing after another. It's like that we can never switch off and shut down. If you've not dealt with your emails, you've got text messages and voicemails coming through. You've got meetings to attend. People approaching you with questions. You've got to get to places which may involve driving or the tube. There may be sort of family issues and pressures that you need to deal with. Children, social engagement, the need to exercise. And we just never have time to relax and invest in ourselves. We're always on, we're always finding ourselves needing to be there to respond to people, to reply to messages. And then on top of that, we have social media and the Twitter and the Facebook and the YouTubes and the LinkedIns and the various different other networks that are driving us harder and faster. But that's not the only problem. So even if you manage to fix the problem of the sheer relentlessness of modern life, sadly there is another problem that we need to overcome as well. And that problem is of the fragmentation or the fragmentedness of your day. We're being pushed and pulled, we're being interrupted by technology, people coming up to and asking us questions, the mobile phone pinging, the emails flying in, the meeting requests, the telephone ringing incessantly. And all of this is preventing us from finding a productive and efficient way of working. You want proof? I'd like to do a little test for you. I'm going to list some devices, technologies and channels. I'd like to count how many of these that you're utilizing on a daily basis. Well, a landline telephone, a mobile, maybe a BlackBerry or an iPhone, email, a laptop, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Skype, LinkedIn. Need I go on? If you counted beyond 4 or 5, I'm pretty sure that you are suffering from a fragmented day. You're busy writing a report. The deadline for this report is 6 o'clock this evening. And you're just starting to get into a flow and the phone rings. You deal with the phone call, you put it down, it takes you a few minutes to get your focus back. And just as you start typing, an email pings in. Once again, you get distracted. You respond to that email. You come back to the project, the report. You start tapping away again. Facebook, Twitter, a LinkedIn message, a text message coming through. You get the idea. There's a productivity expert from the States, a gentleman called Brian Tracy. He's essentially a guru on finding the most productive and efficient ways of working. And he suggests that we can lose up to 500% of our working efficiency directly as a result of the fragmentation of our day. He talks about the sweet spot, the point at which we are operating at our most productive, our most efficient. And it takes a while to get to that sweet spot, and we can only maintain ourselves in that sweet spot for a period of time. But every time you start working and you get distracted by an email, you go back to 0. You start working again, telephone call, back to 0. Start working again, email comes in, back to 0. Most of us are never getting to that sweet spot where most of our best work is actually done. So what's the reason you should listen to me? What makes me an expert to help and support you? Well, firstly, I'm director of the Stress Management Society. I'm a published author. I've been working in this field for over 15 years. I've worked with everything from prisoners to politicians, small companies to large international organizations, I've worked with professional athletes, and I've worked across the planet with all kinds of people and organizations. And my speciality is in spotting stress very quickly, understanding how it's manifesting itself in your life, what the problems are, how it's surfacing, and how it's impacting your life. And then helping you to find the most appropriate solution for you. From all the work that I've done and all the experience that I've gained, one of the most effective strategies, one of the most effective blueprints I've constructed is one that I call the 4 E's approach. It's one that consistently people have found extremely useful. And the 4 E's essentially is just a simple framework for you to achieve better results. And we're not going to have the time to go through the whole program today, but I'd like to share with you at least the first E. And it's E for exemplify. How you can be the example to inspire and motivate the people around you. How you can get it right in yourself first to ensure that the people around you are getting it right in themselves. Now, the first question I have for you is, who's the most important person in your life? Now, when you thought of the answer to that question, many of you may have thought of someone other than yourself. You may have thought of your children, your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your mother, your father, your pet dog, your pot plant. It's usually someone other than ourselves. But I have another question for you. I'm sure many of you have been on a plane at some point in your lives. Before the plane takes off and they go through the safety instruction program of what you should do in case of emergencies, what do they suggest you should do if there's a drop in cabin pressure and an oxygen mask drops down? What should you do before you attempt to put that mask on someone else? That's right, you put it on yourself first. Because actually, if you're suffocating, you're no good to anyone else. You cannot help anybody else if you have not taken care of your own needs first. And this is where exemplify is very, very important. You cannot support someone else in dealing with their stress if you've not looked after your own needs first. This is not being selfish, this is being selfless. Because as soon as you've taken care of your own needs, you're in the best possible position to support those around you. So once again, my first E from our 4 E's blueprint is to exemplify, is to get it right in yourself. Support yourself, take care of your own needs, and then you'll find yourself in the best possible position to support those around you. So, I'd also like to give you, in today's video training, a solution, a possible solution to the 2 problems that we talked about earlier, the problem of relentlessness and the problem of the fragmented day. And one of the challenges that we have is just the sheer volume of emails that we get on a daily basis. Many of those may be sort of emails, subscriptions that you'd signed up to when you were interested in a certain thing, or you were thinking about buying something, or you needed information on a certain subject. But you never unsubscribe from those particular emails, so you're constantly getting a whole load of emails on a daily basis that are preventing you from working in your most productive and efficient way. What I'd like you to do, right now, if you need to even pause the video to do so, that's perfectly okay. I'd like you to go to your inbox. I'd like you to pick at least 10 messages, and if you don't have them in your inbox, you can check your deleted items or your junk mail folder. I'd like you to pick 10 emails that you get on a regular basis, but you don't even read. You literally just delete them as soon as they come in. And if you've not read them for at least a month, I'd like you to pick up those emails and find the place within that email where you can unsubscribe from receiving any more emails from whoever sent them. Now be sure, obviously, when you're unsubscribing from these emails, that you don't unsubscribe from these valuable messages that we're receiving here. And once you've done that, once you've unsubscribed from them, know that that's 10 less emails that you're going to be getting on a regular basis to disrupt the flow of your day, which are going to ease some of that relentlessness of your day, and also the fragmentation that occurs when you have to go in and check an email, or even if it's just simply to go in and delete it. Okay, so we're getting to the end of the time that we've got together today. I'd like to ask you a favour. If you've enjoyed this video, if you found at least one thing that's useful, if you found at least one thing that you can take action on, or something that you can do differently as a result of some of the things that we've talked about here today, I'd like you to do me a small favour and leave a comment below, just sharing with others what benefit you've gained from watching this program. I'd also like you to watch out for my next message, which will be coming to you very soon. Keep an eye on your inbox, because there'll be an important message on its way to you in the very near future. In the meantime, have yourselves a wonderful day.